Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel and thank you for clicking on the video. Today we're going to be talking about one of the newest arcanes that came out with Techrot Encore called Arcane Hot Shot. Arcane Hot Shot is a arcane that slots into your Warframe and it reads as follows. At rank 5, gain 6% weapon critical chance for 10 seconds when using abilities to inflict heat status effect on enemies. It reaches at a maximum stack of 50. Now at rank 0, we're talking 50 stacks, but at rank 5, we're talking 300% crit chance on any weapon as long as you have an ability that deals heat status. Here's the really interesting thing. A lot of Warframes have exalted weapons, and if you mod them for heat, this will enact crit chance on their weapons because it's also an ability as well. So it's proccing itself to increase its crit. Ergo, Mesa. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. Mesa's regulators, if you mod for heat, is counted by the game as a heat ability or an ability that deals heat damage. So you're increasing your crit while you deal damage. So we'll go ahead and show some gameplay so you know what I'm talking about. Okay. All right, so we're capped at 9 times, which, after careful consideration, oh yeah. We are up there. Holy moly, dude, that's so much crit chance. I can't even see the numbers. They're just numbers. But yeah, you really, the only way to increase it any further would be to, you know, maybe have a Riven and Ceramic Dagger with more initial combo. But obviously the easiest answer would be to add 3 more Tau Shards, and you might be able to hit an exclamation point. But is that worth it? Well, if you love Mesa, then probably. But right here, I mean, the arcane is just fantastic with Mesa. We're just barely getting in there. There's still oranges until I actually kind of do a little bit of zooming in. So we're honestly at a good place with the crit chance. It's pretty awesome though. So as you can see, we're combining crit chance from the secondary, the regulators, and thanks to Ceramic Dagger, which unfortunately is no longer the best stat stick because they don't exist anymore, it is still useful thanks to its incarnate form for a build like this. So we're going to kind of talk about the mod setup here. Let's first start with Ceramic Dagger. Now, Ceramic Dagger doesn't need a whole lot going on. You just want to pump it full of initial combo in order to give yourself the highest percent of secondary outbursts. Now, pair it with a really strong primary weapon. I enacted to go with the AX52 because you can give yourself pretty much infinite ammo, like you saw, with you combine it with Hipfire and Primary Crux, and we'll show the build shortly. But you can get yourself up to max stacks of 100 additional initial combo, giving you 9 times. So combine that with the secondary outburst, you have a 180% increase to crit chance every time you swap to your regulators. It is extremely strong. So let's talk about secondary outburst weapon. This can go on anything. This is my, this is a weapon that I use as a primer. It has negative crit. I was like, how can I use this weapon and still, not get rid of the Riven? So it's all status. It's got chaining ability, so it's a really good primer. So even though it has negative crit, I still use it as a primer. And so I decided to put it with secondary outburst. So when I swap every time to my regulators, it's proccing this thanks to Ceramic Dagger's high initial combo. It's perfect for this arcane. So for the AX52, right? We're just using primary crux and its unique trait. The build doesn't matter. You can use whatever weapon you want, but this is a really easy way to get the stacks on your ceramic dagger very high. And then let's show off Mesa real quick, because this video won't be very long. Actually, first let's talk about the Tau Forge. So as you saw, we were kind of getting red crits even before her regulators were fully zoomed in, because the more zoomed in you are with her regulators, right, the more focus you have, the more damage, and the higher the crit. However, this Arcane is proccing and working with Tau Forge topaz shards, or regular topaz, it doesn't matter, but when they're Tau Forge, right, you get a higher percent. So 75 plus 75, I get an extra 150% crit chance right here alone, right? And if I wanted to add even more, it is theoretically possible to increase the tier of crit even more, possibly into the 1 to 2 exclamation point range. However, I don't have the materials to do that, but if you're a viewer and you want to copy this build, I implore you to try adding even more crit, because of course it's just going to make Mesa do even more damage. Now back to the build. Specifically, we have Arcane Avenger and Arcane Hot Shot. I have to say, this Arcane is incredibly expensive right now. I probably spent 2 hours on Warframe Market spending over 1,000 platinum to get it. Now, why is it so expensive? Well, it's availability, supply and demand is very off kilter. So the supply is very low and the demand is very high, making it expensive. I was paying on average between 60 to 80 per Arcane. So well over 1,000 platinum to get this thing going. However, you know, in the future, when it becomes more readily available, it'll obviously go down in price. So if you don't have the means to afford it, don't worry about it. Don't stress. This build will be waiting for you if you want to try it in the future when it's cheaper. Part of the reason is the newest Deep Arcane Media over with the Gemini skin Nova is that the Arcane only drops once per week as a selectable reward, and it's completely random if you get any additional ones throughout those 3 missions. So that is also contributing to its rarity and expensiveness. Now, for the build, we have Nourish and Combat Discipline. We have Combat Discipline to activate Arcane Avenger, and we have Nourish to give all of our stuff viral. We'll show the regulators in a second. We have Mesa's Waltz. This is optional. However, you know, you can slot in Prime Sure-Footed if you want to fit it in there. We have a little bit of shield capacity too, because you're going to be swapping in and out of your regulators pretty often and casting your abilities. So having dual auger sets is going to help, you know, refresh your shields a little bit. Rolling guard helps do that as well, right? So you take no damage while you're regenerating your shields. Pretty great. A lot of energy because, again, pretty spam heavy going in and out of regulators as you move room to room. And then of course Blind Rage too. So without a negative efficiency, right, it's going to be very expensive without Nourish to get your energy back. So keep that in mind. So this is the build for Mesa. Now if we go to her regulators, we are going pure heat only, because keep in mind Nourish is giving her regulators viral as well. Okay, and then any sort of companion you have will buff that too. So this is a newish mod, crit damage with punch through. So you actually give Mesa's regulators punch through and increase the critical damage. It's very, very nice. However, this mod is optional. I have Cascadia Flare in because, again, it's just pure heat. So this is where we're getting the bulk of our damage. And if you have a companion that is priming very heavily, of course, you're getting a lot of damage from this too. But, you know, if you want to put in Hornet Strike here, by all means, if you want to mod it that way, go for it. One thing you might have noticed is that we don't have Arcane Velocity. We actually had to take that out because you can only have 2 Arcanes in the frame, and you absolutely need Avenger. And the whole point of this video is to go over Hot Shot. So, you know, it doesn't fit. So absolutely you need Fire Rate here. The only other way we're getting Fire Rate is thanks to my companion here, which is my preference. We're using Reinforced Bond. This thing has over 1,200 shields, which means we're getting 60 Fire Rate here as well. So in total, we have 150% Fire Rate for Mesa's regulators. Yes, this affects her regulators. This is the build here. So we're dealing electric damage here. Momentous Bond, there's so many status effects going on that it is going to, I'm sorry, Manifold Bond, it's causing him to spam Repo Audit and Synergize Prospectus. Quite often, as you saw in the gameplay, he kind of just spits it out non-stop. It's very, very good. We also have Magnetic Damage, which is good against the Eximus units. And of course, we've got some shield recharging capabilities here. But for the weapon of choice, it's just the normal Attican. And for the mod setup, it's heat, radiation, and corrosive. So, you know, put whatever statuses you want. Obviously, of course, it depends on the faction, but this is the build for that. So I'll probably make another video kind of talking about the Arcane as a whole across other frames, but I wanted to show, you know, you can kind of get away with not having as many topaz shards thanks to this Arcane. It is, however, a little bit more expensive, but it does have a really cool and unique interaction with Mesa because you can mod her regulators with pure heat. And now that it has an Arcane slot, thanks to the Techrot Encore update, you can put Cascadia Flare in here and get away with getting most of your damage from this Arcane instead, which is really, really, really good, guys. It's very good. So if you are a Mesa main like myself, or you just love Mesa and you want to try a new build with her, getting the most out of your crit, this is the way to do it. So I hope you guys enjoyed. If you watched till the end, thank you so much. Be sure to check out my Gyre video, or Gyre video, that I had uploaded earlier yesterday or the day before. I will be covering some more stuff regarding this update. However, I'm taking my time soaking it in, testing different things before I start committing to video ideas, because there's so much that came out with this update. It's kind of a bit much. So stay tuned. If you're not subscribed, consider subscribing, and I thank you for watching to the end if you're still listening. So once again, thank you so much. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.